Hello and welcome to Athene's Cult. I'm your usual host, Athene, and I'm joined here by Tony.
Hello, I'm Random Woman this week, part of the cult.
And we're here to talk about the gaming news and everything in between. So have you been playing anything this week, Tony?
Played more Roundabout.
Played more Roundabout, the greatest game of all time.
It lived up to... I kept playing, there's 1,000 and something missions. I've done half of them now.
You know,
And there's different... we had, in that one area, you go to other areas.
Really?
Yeah.
There's even more?
Yeah, and you can now jump at my stage in the game.
Wow. That's amazing.
I met Jeffrey the Skeleton, so I'm...
That was quite... We saw Jeffrey the Skeleton in the opening cinematic thing.
Can I just say, I'm not any less confused than I was originally. I still have no idea... I took some magic mushrooms to try and beat my rival, and I met Jeffrey the Skeleton then.
We're going to be talking about our Steam Awards for this week. Is Roundabout on your Steam Awards?
I think so.
Is it on the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas Award?
I hope so.
Okay, well this week...
it's all locked in, so I don't know. I can't remember what I chose in the end until I see the awards again.
This week I have been playing Fortnite again. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I've seen...
Great Battle Royale game. Lots of Peter potential. I like that...
Peter potential.
I liked
That's unfair to fit...
I liked that this year there was a potential award, right?
Yeah.
Where I had that entire podcast where we had... I was going on about how much potential these games had, and it was called Peter's Potential or something.
Yeah, I do remember that podcast.
So I'm glad that was included, but it's really nice to see Fortnite getting
Fortnite really
Battle
good.
Royale getting constant updates, and the new bush item is really cool. I love the new jump pad. I love that they're keeping rocket riding. It's a really fun way to play. And if you're a fan of Battle Royale games like PUBG, for example, and you love creative ways of playing those games, there is no more creative game than Fortnite. It allows you to do whatever you want, basically, in the world. It's fantastic.
Can I ask, though, that wall, is that going into the wilderness? I'm really confused.
That's the circle that comes in as you play. As you play the game, there's a circle. It's called the Storm.
But you can go out there and not...
It deals damage to you.
Yeah.
You want to run away from the circle. There's the rocket riding as we're talking about it.
I was saying you don't die instantly though,
No.
Okay.
It deals damage over time, and the longer the game is, the stronger the storm is.
Okay, right.
It's the same in PUBG.
Okay.
There's a circle. It's to stop the game lasting forever. Everyone has to get inside this circle, and then if they're outside the circle, they take damage and die.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I assume there's still stuff outside once the storm comes in, though.
Sorry?
There's still stuff outside you can do if you or to maneuver around if you just want to take a little bit of damage.
You can. But if it's late game, you're going to take way too much damage.
Okay.
And there's also shields in the game, and you can't... The storm goes straight through shields, so you can't use shields to get around it. You have to use health for the storm, which is very interesting. But yeah, Fortnite Battle Royale, fantastic game. They really turned that game around. I remember when it came out, not a lot of people were playing it. It was I think the marketing was really bad for that game.
I really like the marketing, for the single player. I still really want to play the single player.
But they just didn't really know what game they were trying to... They were trying to be a creative building game, and it was a wave defense game.
I like that.
But nobody was really interested in it. And suddenly they were like, you know what? Why don't we try to make a Battle Royale game, but we're not just going to make a PUBG clone.
Which it isn't.
We're going to make a Fortnite Battle Royale game. And you know what? They actually did it. They actually made a really interesting Battle Royale game.
The building is so cool.
Yeah, it's fully customizable. It's really creative. If you haven't checked out Fortnite and you're interested in Battle Royale games or even building games, definitely check it out, because the Battle Royale part is free to play, and they've said that the single player is going to go free to play eventually as well. They have plans to make the single player, I believe it's called Save the World.
Okay,
it's going to go free to play as well. So that's cool.
You've played more of this week than PUBG.
Yeah, I usually go between them because they're very different games.
Yeah.
So, because I like in Fortnite's third person, they only have third person at the moment. I like the creative building, but then sometimes I get, I get the feel that I want to go to a very realistic, hardcore kind of first person game.
Where
And
that's
when I go back. Yeah, there's no vehicles in Fortnite, you know.
Do you think they'll eventually add things like vehicles into Fortnite? Eventually,
they're adding a bunch of stuff because recently they've added the bush, they've added the jump pad.
Yeah.
They just rebalanced SMGs. Because people were complaining that SMGs weren't balanced, and they've added a silent SMG.
Then they had they did a little bit more damage and had a bigger clip size, so they could be more balanced.
And the next thing they're going to add is smoke grenades.
Okay.
That's the next thing they're working on. But I don't know how useful they will be in this game.
I hope they go full ham to make them crazy.
Yeah, but the problem is the inventory system in Fortnite's really different from PUBG, because in PUBG you have a weight and then you can carry like a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Because grenades don't take up that much room because they're quite small relative. But in Fortnite you have 6 inventory slots. And you can only fill 6 inventory slots. There's no way to upgrade your inventory.
It's more like
so
Minecraft.
A smoke grenade would take a space of an explosive grenade. It would take the space of a first aid kit or a bandage or something. And I don't see a lot of scenarios where you'd ever take a smoke grenade over a lot of other things.
Okay.
You know?
Unless they rebalance that system with more grenades or something.
So that's what I'm playing this week. But one of the biggest topics this week... no, wait. Well, okay. Now, I won't say the Battleborn's biggest topic this week. I forgot I put that first. I've been trying to tell people. I've been trying to say this on the podcast for weeks and weeks and weeks because it keeps getting pushed back. Battleborn's dead. What a surprise! I don't think anyone really was too surprised by this, other than Randy Pitchford, because apparently he thought this game was going to be a success with these horrible mismanagement of it.
Yeah, but he doesn't know what G2A is either.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, basically with the latest fall update for Battleborn, the development of Battleborn is officially dead. The game has officially stopped receiving dev updates. The servers are going down.
Maybe they should make a sequel to Colonial Marines.
Yeah, Colonial Marines Born.
Colonial Marines be shipped out to another company again for Borderlands.
But I just wanted to quickly mention that so it doesn't go on too long, and I'm on the podcast a year later, and I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, Battleborn's dead. But the actual big topic is Battlefront 2 has now officially removed the microtransactions temporarily from the game, which is massive.
Can I just say, it's Battlefront 4.
Apparently Battlefront 2 once had an Overwatch-style mode with cosmetic loot boxes.
Wow.
But then they decided, nah.
More
Star
money.
cards.
Yeah, okay.
What do you think about the Battlefront 2
I think it...
palaver?
For me, it's like, I've been looking at it like, I still don't really care because I just felt that the single player, I still hate the card system because that's also in the single player. But for me, it's just like watching a shitstorm happen. A well-deserved shitstorm, I might add. I just find it really funny, like, the Disney CEO was like, you've really fucked up.
I've got a quote here. Hang on, Tony. The quote was, Disney CEO said, you done fucked up, kid. Actual Disney CEO quote.
Yeah, we didn't make that up at all.
The Disney CEO said to the head of EA, you done fucked up, kid.
Yeah, we phoned them up and they said, what did you say to her?
What the fuck did you just say to me? I'm a trained fucking Navy SEAL.
No, we don't know what they said to them, but I would want to know what the conversation was, though. I am curious about that.
Yeah. It was around November 17th, there was a conversation between EA and Disney's chief executive. There was a phone call that took place between EA CEO Andrew Wilson and the Walt Disney Company chief executive Bob Iger. And players found they're unable to buy Battlefront's 2 premium currency crystals. Now, I saw a tweet from Jeff Gersman from Giant Bomb about this, and he said, I can't actually buy crystals from the store if they're removed. And I thought, oh, this is some sort of bug. Right? But no, it turned out they actually removed microtransactions from the game
until they can make a better
the
one.
Massive backlash they have received from this. They had they put a comment on Reddit, and it was the most downvoted comment in Reddit history. I think it was like 30,000 downvotes. They tried to do an AMA on Reddit,
And the answer to 30
and
questions.
they didn't answer any real questions. Got downvoted as shit. Didn't answer any real questions, including ones from Jim Sterling himself.
Which were fair enough questions, I thought. Or at least some of them. Some of them were like, there's no way they could answer that, but they're fair enough questions, the first 2 questions.
Now, the point I want to make is people are saying they remove microtransactions. I want to put emphasis on temporarily.
Well, yeah, they're trying to put it back in.
They're saying they're trying to rebalance the system at the moment.
Yeah, they've done that with, is it a Burnout game?
Burnout
They did it too? Like, Burnout Payback, I want to say.
Okay.
Which is an already apt name with a game with loot boxes in.
Right.
They rebalance it so you basically got more experience for playing the game instead of having forcing you to buy the loot boxes basically. So I still think it still could be fucked up.
What they said was they didn't mean for players to get an advantage by buying loot boxes, which they obviously did, but they didn't want to admit that.
Yeah.
And then they're going to rebalance the game. So now, at the moment, the game is basically this massive battlefield grind without loot boxes, because the loot boxes were put in there so that people could just buy the stuff that they needed to play the game properly.
Yeah.
So now there's just this even bigger hurdle of a grind to get any items you want.
Yeah, so it's still completely broken.
Like I think Boogie was streaming the arcade, because you can earn credits through the arcade to unlock the stuff you want, and he was told. He just played a mission. He said, "You can't earn credits anymore. You've played the arcade too much. Wait 24 hours.
Yeah,
you can play it again.
So weird.
Like you can't actually keep playing the game to earn enough credits to buy things. There's arbitrary time gated content for you to be able to unlock the stuff you want.
So those were there to try and incentivize you to buy the loot boxes, I presume. So
they were there to get you to buy the loot boxes, but you can't buy the loot boxes anymore because they removed them because they were so unfair. It's actually such a shit show that I don't think we've ever seen this kind of fuck up from any company regarding microtransactions and loot boxes. And
as Jim has stated, this is like the game where all the government agencies are like, right, we're looking into this now.
Yeah,
which is started to happen.
We now have, if I just scroll across, we now have Belgium. Justice Minister calls for a loot box ban in Europe. The country's gambling commission has done an investigation, and they're calling loot boxes definitely gambling. It's not finalised a decision yet, but they definitely said that they want to ban loot box gambling in Belgium. And we also have a Hawaii making a very...
It's a great video.
What's the word?
Public?
They made a very damning statement about EA's Star Wars Battlefront.
Even using Star Wars memes to back himself up and say it's a trap.
They're saying that EA is using predatory practices in order to get money from kids, basically.
Well, they claimed that the game was just a Star Wars casino.
Basically, yeah.
It's like his actual words.
It's a trap.
Which I think is fantastic.
This is something that we need to address.
Like, I feel like he's a big fan of Star Wars, though, right? Like, I get he's just not like making it up. I feel like he actually does care about Star Wars.
I feel like this is a response to a lot of people writing in about gambling and loot boxes.
But he does clearly know Star Wars, though.
And I think people have been able to get the point across about loot boxes being gambling more efficiently by saying it's targeted towards kids. Because I think at the moment, the general consensus by the general population is video games are for kids, loot boxes are gambling, microtransactions are in video games, kids play video games, microtransactions are targeted towards kids. Well, I think there is a lot of this going on. I think it's been a key way of pushing the idea of loot boxes being gambling and targeting vulnerable kids, which I think is happening, but it's also being used as a way to make the point a lot stronger.
Yeah.
Because I definitely think there's lots of adult whales who are purchasing microtransactions that aren't too vulnerable, but these are definitely people with addictive personalities.
But there's gambling laws in place. I'm not saying that loot boxes is necessarily gambling. It's still like gambling. I'm not but I do think it's separate from gambling, but like the same level. I don't know if it's going to get a new name or like something similar to it, or just get clumped in with gambling. I don't know what's going to happen there.
Hawaii is slamming on the loot boxes.
Yeah. That's an actual quote.
From me.
Yeah.
If you want to quote me, you can.
No, I'm just curious because like even like with like adult gambling, like there's still like laws and things that you can't do.
Yeah. There's
and which there is not anything
laws
yet for loot boxes at all. So I'm hoping, even though they're like the promotional stuff, like get the awareness is against kids, it will still be laws and regulations against anyone who wants.
Is
to put
there
loot boxes
gambling
in.
laws for online casinos?
In England there is, yeah.
Because that's like a kind of loophole, I think, in other countries.
Yeah, I'm definitely sure in England, like you can't get through the loopholes very easily. Like I think you have to be registered gambling.
A registered sex offender.
Yeah. You have to be a registered sex offender, you have to be a registered gambling company, and then otherwise you can't do it, I think. I don't know about any other country, though. I assume America's sort of similar.
I don't know anything about gambling laws.
I don't know much about gambling
lawyers,
either.
But...
I'd have to ask our friend Andy.
Would he?
I don't know if he would know or not. I know he gambles, that's all I know. With his money.
Yeah, this just goes to show that people are important, and even if their game's not on Steam, so it can't be review bombed, it can be the people can speak in other ways.
Yeah, there's always Reddit.
There's always Reddit.
And people talking about it on YouTube, and lots of them again making more money from videos.
You know what they say, there's no such thing as bad press unless you're talking about Battlefront 2 loot boxes. In which case that's definitely bad press.
Yeah. It's definitely bad press. I think this is the year where there's definitely bad press. Everyone's
they fucked
realised
up really hard when they... I think there was an insider in EA who was basically like, they're going to make the beta really bad, they're going to fix a small amount of things, and they've tested that people will just eat this shit up. That we fixed a tiny amount of things, and then it's somehow better, and that wave of press will cover all of the negative news. It didn't. The game still had massive issues. People still really hated your scummy practices.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the last... what's the saying, like on the camel's back? The last thing?
The straw on the camel's back.
Straw, that was... I was like, string?
Anyway,
it's not string.
Next piece of news. Marvel Heroes is being shut down at the end of the year. If you didn't know, there was like a Diablo kind of style Marvel Heroes game where you picked a hero and you went through kind of dungeons fighting different villains, and you got like loot and gear and stuff, and it was pretty cool. You could play with your favourite heroes, such as your boy Ghost Rider in this screenshot. I think I played it for a bit. I played as Captain America. It was free to play. And
you couldn't like buy extra people, or I can't remember how the system worked.
The way you did it was you could purchase other heroes to play as through playing the game and grinding or microtransactions. Is how they kept the game free to play for so long. Or you could get allies to help you in battle and stuff. But the game was actually pretty good. I know Total Biscuit was a fan of this game. He enjoyed it a lot.
I remember he said he liked it a lot. We didn't know who to recommend it to, but he liked it. I remember him saying something like that.
I remember when it came out a few years ago. It was kind of a bad launch and the game wasn't great.
Yeah.
But the dev team kept working and they kind of pulled it together and it became quite a competent dungeon crawler game. And it was very good because it had the Marvel. It had the Marvel brand or license rather. But the problem is now Disney's pulling the Marvel brand from them, so they can no longer make the game, which is kind of a shame. I wonder if they'll make another game. It's because Gazillion is the devs.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll make another game that's similar like this with their own IP. That would be interesting to see. I don't know.
I would probably. I don't know. I mean, personally, I don't really care if I play, like, if it's still a fun game with like interesting mechanics and like, interesting abilities and things. Like I know that like the actual branding of Marvel pulls a lot of weight in marketing. But I would
especially when it comes to EA and Marvel.
I would still be interested in seeing if they did do that there. Don't know.
You don't.
I never played the game. But I did like the look of it though.
It was pretty fun. I just stopped playing it because I couldn't be bothered with the grind. But if you're interested in a grindy kind of dungeon crawler Diablo kind of style game that had that license, it was very good for what it was. But yeah, sad news. Next topic is also gambling. As gambling's under the spotlight, there's going to be tons of news now about loot boxes and gambling, but it was about child gambling, and the Gambling Commission and the Advertising Standards Authority among the signatories to a letter sent to online gambling operators that ordered them to remove games promoted with unacceptable adverts featuring cartoon characters likely to appeal to children. So there was a lot of like gambling websites with like very cartoony kind of characters on them that the Gambling Commission was saying was kind of appealing to children.
Yeah,
so
sense.
we've got, it's not just loot boxes as well. There's actual other, like slot machines, gambling stuff that's also appealing to children, and this is kind of part of the effort to protect vulnerable children from gambling and video games, gambling on the net. I thought this was interesting to bring up as well because it kind of shows the other kind of gambling that's being promoted towards children. Next topic is YouTube. This was on the 27th of October. 30% of demonetized videos will be fully monetized on that day. So 30% of videos that were previously demonetized were fully monetized again.
Un-demonetized?
Yeah.
It's pretty.
They said since August, over 1 million human reviews helped train and improve this technology, and today we released an important update that will result in a fewer misclarifications overall. As a result, 30% reduction in the number of videos receiving limited ads as they move to being fully monetized. In other words, millions more videos will become fully monetized.
Once again.
So we've actually got a picture of the YouTube algorithm right here. There he is.
Hang on. No.
I never realised the Terminator had teeth. This is
You know.
actually the first time I look at everything about the Terminator. He's like super robotic when he has like all his skin burnt off. I guess the teeth would survive because they have dental records, right?
But also, you need to put the teeth in.
Like whenever anyone gets burned, they always go get his dental records because the teeth always survive.
Whenever like a body's like really like.
I just feel like they would be.
mangled.
I just feel like they'd be like metallic teeth. And
Yeah, no, but they put the skin over them, so they have to have a realistic mouth, and it still opens like a normal mouth.
But I feel like they'd be metal teeth, and they'd paint like
Yeah.
acrylic on them or something.
Maybe they are, Joe.
But they're not because the paint hasn't burnt off.
Okay. I was going to say
So those are real teeth. They've put real teeth in a robot to make the Terminator.
Did they kill
That's how dedicated they are.
Did they kill like the person? Yeah, but how do you make them off the like? How do you get loads of Arnold Schwarzeneggers? Like, there's loads of versions of him, so they all have teeth. So did they like grow the teeth in a lab?
I think if they've got robot technology, maybe they have stem cell research technology.
Well, they can grow.
They grow humans.
They grow
remove
skin as
their
well.
teeth, and then they kill the human.
Well, they grow.
They don't need them
they
anymore.
grow like skin without. I don't know if you've ever watched the TV series of Terminator.
No, I haven't seen it.
With
The Sarah Connor Chronicles. is
Yeah,
it?
the same woman that plays Cersei in Game of Thrones. I actually really like it, but it got cancelled at season 2.
I've never seen the TV series.
It's
yet.
actually really good. Anyway, I was going to say though, like that's clearly not what. That's not the.
That's what the YouTube algorithm looks like. This is a
No.
direct photo from YouTube.
You know that in the Nebuchadnezzar's getting chased by those squid things.
Yeah,
that's what
that's
it
what
is.
you think the YouTube.
You have to use the
I'll get a
EMP to
picture.
turn it off. You know, like
Matrix robots.
you know, people use like these tricks to like get remonetized and things. That's the EMP they use to get rid of them. They are still quite scary looking, actually, even to this day. Like,
They actually look pretty shit to me, but
well, they're shit, but they're kind of scary
yeah.
in idea. They're shit graphics. It's like.
We are the YouTube algorithm. We will take down your video and give you piss colour all over it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Anyway, that was just a quick maths topic. Anyway, next topic is just wanted to show you this cool VR game. I've talked about this in the past. This is my favourite seated Oculus VR experience that I had, and it's called I Expect You to Die. If you're someone who doesn't have the room for room scale VR, you have an Oculus Dev Kit 2 maybe, you don't have, the technology to go room scale, this game was definitely fantastic. And what I've noticed is my two favourite VR games, this from Seated Experience and this Budget Cuts for room scale, I've noticed they're both stealth games. They're both secret agent games, basically.
Yeah.
Agent, you've definitely earned
You just like being a secret agent.
But the thing about this game that makes it fantastic is that the demo that they put out was you were put in your nemesis's car, sat in his car, and you had to break out of it, but it was set with booby traps and stuff, and you had to figure out how to escape without dying and stuff.
What could possibly go wrong?
It's fantastic.
It looks really good, and the full game looks even better than the demo.
The description: player is a secret agent armed with telekinetic abilities on a mission to stop Soraxis. This is your arch nemesis, a nefarious global weapons and pharmaceutical corporations. So this is the first mission you play. It was in the thumbnail.
Welcome, agent.
But the menu's even cool. You're
That
like
is so
sat in
cool.
like a.
Yeah, that's so good.
This is the first mission you play because you're in your nemesis's plane, and you're in his car.
Oh!
And you're trying to escape.
And most importantly,
It is so cool. And it's now, I think it's now in room scale VR actually. I think, is it? No. It's now, I mean, it's now on the Vive. It's still a seated experience. It's still a fantastic seated experience. But I think there is motion controllers, is what I meant to say. You can.
Okay.
Because originally I was playing the dev kit 2, so you moved around with the mouse.
Oh right.
But now you have the hand motion controller.
That's
this
even
is going to be
better.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It's on my wish list, boys.
I think it's on my wish list as well.
So
is it on my wish list?
Even if you have a Oculus or a HTC, both of those are supported, you can use those. Fantastic game, I'd highly recommend it. It's got good reviews on Steam as well. It is on sale for £11. It's a pretty good
Your
deal.
regional equivalent.
Yep. Speaking of regional equivalents, because there is new currencies on Steam. Steam games are going to be... these new currencies are going to be live on the 13th of November, which is about a week and a half ago from the podcast recording.
Yeah.
But these currencies are now available on Steam. So you can now get the Argentinian peso, the Costa Rican colon? I don't know how to pronounce that. The Israel new shekel. If you're going to use your shekels, boys, get them out on Steam. The Kazakhstani tenge, the Kuwait.
I'm surprised that
dinar, the Polish zloty, the Qatari rial, the Ukrainian
Are you torturing yourself just reading them all out?
The Uruguay, is that Uruguayan peso, the Vietnamese dong. If you want to spend your dongs on Steam, you can now do it, and the South Asian USD region.
I'm surprised that the Zimbabwean main money, RuneScape gold isn't on there though. I'm a bit confused about that.
Well, we now live in a time where RuneScape and World of Warcraft gold is more valuable than Venezuelan dollar.
Well, I imagine even online has an even better economy than those, so that must be even more stable than many more countries' economy.
The most interesting thing about this is all this, because the Australian dollar was added recently as well.
Yeah, before all of this.
Is that you now have to put your game in every currency. You have to make it available in every currency, and this is done retroactively as well. So games on Steam that haven't done this have to update it to make sure all of their games are ready to be bought in that currency. You now have to support like the Vietnamese dong for your game. Like this is a whole new things you have to think about when you're making your game. Can people spend their shekels on your game?
People spend their dongs. Is what
if I pronounced any of those names wrong, which I probably pronounced
please email Joe.
Most of them wrong. Send me a message on Twitter. Drop me a YouTube comment. Tell me about how angry you are that
subscribe.
That I butchered the name of your precious country and currency.
Surely all of those things support you in some way, though, Joe. Do you have vested interest in people messaging you on different things to increase your?
No.
no.
Valve is also sending out emails to the users in these countries. So if you're in any of these countries, you should already be informed that you can now use your official currency on the Steam store, which is really cool. Now, Bluehole, the creators of games like the publishers of games like Terra, and Terra PUBG, Online, is making another MMO for some reason.
Because that's what they do, Joe.
The trailer was getting slammed with negative reviews. It's called Ascent Infinite Realm, I thought this was just really interesting that the Terra PUBG people were making another MMO. Looks like because they're a Korean company, right? So it's going to be like a Korean MMO.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really interesting. The trailer was like had massive stuttering issues.
There's loads of places have massive stuttering issues.
There was like crazy frame drops throughout the entire trailer.
I'm not sure that people will be able to see it. You have to go and see the video yourself because we're obviously recording. But
you can see like massive stuttering in the trailer.
Yeah. Like
even watching it again, I can still see it. Like it's
there's
crazy.
animation stuttering as well as like just like outright lag with like too many stuff on screen.
But is this like a finished product or is this like an early?
Yeah, I don't know.
Early access kind of thing because.
But it's 5 minutes long, so is it like a really long teaser trailer or is it? I'm really confused. There's actual gameplay though, so I give them props for that, and that's about it.
I don't know.
I mean, do they give us like an estimation of when it's coming out? Oh, we see the classes, Joe. Come on, let's see.
Sorceress, Mystic, Warlord, Assassin, and Gunslinger. So all the major classes.
So we've got Red Dead Redemption, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
I've lost. I don't know what the other games would be for those other classes. What would Mystic be?
The next topic is Sonic Forces came out and it had awful reviews when it first came out, but now it has mostly positive.
Interesting.
So apparently people were complaining it only had about 2 to 6 hours of gameplay. Why is it so red?
Say it's using Denovo. Is that the enhanced Steam?
Yeah, this is enhanced Steam because I'm using enhanced Steam Chrome add-on on the browser.
Yeah.
So it's telling me this has Denovo on it, which some people are complaining about. How many people are going to pirate Sonic Forces and get on Denovo just to play it? Is there a lot of hardcore Sonic? That's a stupid question. There's a lot of hardcore Sonic.
Yeah, but would the hardcore Sonic fans play this and not Sonic Mania?
They would love to. You can create your own Sonic.
Yeah, but they look shit.
You can make your own Sonic.
They look shit, though. Isn't it like only like 4 hours long or something?
It's like after playing Sonic Forces for over 160 plus hours, I think it's time to write a review. Jesus Christ. He's saying the story is weak. Where did that perfect jump from? Like the 2D segments are like even worse than they were in Generations.
Really? Wow.
Which people were saying they were good in Generations, but they're somehow worse.
They made it worse somehow.
The positives are the tone, the music, the custom character, the voice actor, the old character, and the graphics.
I disagree.
How did this person give this a positive review? How did he spend? This must be one of those fucking fanatical, hardcore.
I guess
Sonic fans. Showing the reviews that match the filters above, mixed, but this is mostly positive.
What's the percentage of the mostly positive at the top?
At the top?
You just what's the
71%?
That's well, it's not a game for me. I can tell you that much. But I could have told you that from the original trailer.
I saw Jim Stone's Jim Preston on this, and he said he was enjoying it when he was playing it, but I don't think he'd played through the entire game. You know, the few hours of it, because I think if he knew how long it was, he might get a bit annoyed. But yeah, there seems to be DLC that is coming that is just costumes.
It's no Sonic Heroes.
I mean, Mania looks really good from what I've seen.
Mania looks very good.
That came out at the start of this year because you were asking me earlier. We're going to be thinking about games of the year for when the year ends.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll have to
I need to do more research on what games actually came out this year.
But yeah, why were people hyped for this game when Mania was coming out?
Did you not see the trailer that made it look completely shit?
Custom characters.
Can I just say, I actually hate... Like, I like the cutscenes in the trailer. Like, I still like the cutscenes of this game, right?
Why couldn't they have... Why do they have to make...
trailer still looks shit.
Why do they have to make Sonic Forces? Why couldn't they make Sonic All-Star Racing Transform 2? That's the game everybody wanted.
That's the game we all need. We can have PlayerUnknown himself on there.
Yeah, Brendan Green himself. Come along and make Sonic Forces 2. Not Sonic Forces. Sonic All-Star Racing Transform 2. Okay. VR... Logitech announced the Bridge SDK. Logitech is making a bridge for the Vive tracker and a keyboard
Many people are
to add
expressing
keyboard tracking
some
in
desire
VR.
to have an effective typing
So we
experience.
talked about
Works in
before
conjunction
the
with
Vive
HTC Vive
tracker,
which attaches
but
to
now they're adding a
large
bridge so you
gaming
can
keyboard.
attach the
When
trackers
you
directly
link
to your
the
keyboard
HTC Vive
to have the
tracker
keyboard
to the
tracked in
keyboard
VR
with
itself.
software,
Yeah.
it gives you a
Which is pretty
3D
cool because a
model
lot of the time in
of the
VR you need to go on your
in
keyboard.
virtual environment. This works across
You do need
all
to type
applications
things
that
in and
use
set
Steam
things
VR.
up.
It looks
occasionally.
amazing.
Efficient
So instead of just knowing the general area of where your keyboard is, you can actually get it fully rendered in VR.
I already, do you know what? I really want this because I want to have like an Imperial sort of like Star Destroyer bridge. Because like you can change like the what the keyboard looks like in game.
Really? That's really cool.
So I wonder if that you could people could make like custom skins for it. You can make
For
it look like
people
an
would
Imperial
like,
thing.
people who want this for like a seated experience.
Yeah.
They could like literally just have a tiny room. They
You know-
could go in like
Yeah.
have a little desk, and then they could build their own office.
You know, like
basically, inside VR.
people already at the moment have like VR just sort of like have more interesting environment to like do like just normal stuff like watching movies or something. Like this would be great for that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So
I'm pretty hyped for it, even though I don't have VR in any way.
I really hope VR succeeds in the future. I hope Valve keeps pushing it as much as they're pushing it, because I think at the moment it's getting shit on a lot.
They're making like they still making a little bit money back from some
Because
things,
they're we definitely know they're making new lighthouses,
yeah.
and we think there might be there's a new Vive coming out.
Yeah.
It's hopefully cheaper, hopefully wireless. You know,
I know that people like Jim don't like it and say like, oh, people think it's going to replace normal games. It's definitely going to replace normal
No,
games.
there's no
but
way.
I think it's definitely.
I don't think there's-
I think it's going to be big, but not as big as what people are expecting. Maybe.
I don't think VR will ever replace desktop gaming.
No.
I don't think that's going to leave. Like,
I feel like even in like a Star Trek future universe with holodecks, there'll still be like 2D games that you could play.
you know, like we had platformer games, like really simple, hard games in like the 80s, and we still have those kind of
Yeah.
spiritual games living on to these days. People aren't going to suddenly go, I don't ever want to play that kind of game
No.
again. I only ever want to be inside the virtual reality. That's not going to happen until we get, you know,
You get different.
that's not going to happen until we get like Tron kind of VR, where you plug yourself in and you're like in this virtual world.
Yeah, but even then, somebody's just like, I can't be bothered to plug myself in. I just want to turn on the
that's
screen
true.
and
I
play.
think people vastly underestimate people's laziness when
Yeah.
it comes to going, I don't really want to
Convenience-
stand up and do
Convenience
stuff.
is underrated, I think.
That's very true. So our next topic is Torchlight and Hob developer Runic Games has been shut down, unfortunately. They just released Hob recently, which is
Yeah.
a great-looking adventure kind of platformer game.
Was it? Who was their publisher? Because I never remember like who they published under.
Who was their publisher?
Yeah, did they self-publish? I didn't think they
I
did.
don't know. I'll have a look.
But it is unfortunate. I actually really liked Runic Games. Like,
No,
I like the Torchlight stuff.
They published
it's-
themselves.
So how? If they're shutting down, how are they going to get money? How do you? Can you buy their stuff still? Who makes the money?
The gigantic developer Motiga was shut down by its China-based publisher. That's why Gigantic had bad reviews. I've been trying to figure that out for the longest time. Motiga's chief editor Chung said, Motiga is not only the perfect world studio being impacted by a decision, we also know his warning was dead on. Perfect Worlds has also shut down Torchlight 2 and Hob developer Runic Game. So they were from China, kind of controlling over Runic Games.
Right, so they weren't publishing.
They were
it, but
Motiga.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense.
feels bad. I like Runic Games.
Yeah, they made really cool games, and it's really fun.
really
It
like
sucks. So they got
Torchlight.
shut down now by Chinese overlords. But as it goes, we were talking about this. People like Tencent, they are our Chinese overlords. We are, scared of them. We can't
Tencent
see
like,
them.
50
They're through a Chinese firewall, so we can never interact with them. But they are there. They are the puppets. They are the puppet masters behind our strings.
Is Tencent like the Chinese version of 50 Cent?
They're like the Chinese version of the fucking the government watching over us.
Oh, okay. The Illuminati from China.
They like invented a game that would impact your social standing.
Yeah.
It was like there's an extra credits video about Tencent that I would suggest watching.
China's. I find it so weird. Like, a lot of
like they because they fucking they got publishing rights to PUBG now. They own they own Riot Games, which is League of Legends, the biggest one of the biggest PC games in the world. Like, kind of crazy.
You shouldn't sell your soul to China, is what you're trying to say, right?
No, it's the biggest market. Like, if you look at Steam statistics for Asia,
but I would say
releasing your game in China gets you so much.
But
so
I wouldn't
much
sell
money.
my company to a Chinese company.
Hmm.
I believe you just search for China.
China? Here we go. If you're interested in the video, this is it. Propaganda games, the true danger of gamification. So China has gamified being an obedient citizen with the creation of Sesame Credit. It creates a social score that pushes people to behave the way the government wants. It's currently opt-in, but will become mandatory in 2020. Like, it's fucking insane that, like, Tencent's making this socially mandatory game where you have to act a certain way. And PUBG has to be edited to go to Chinese ethical standards, and they won't let you show skulls or blood, otherwise you can't sell the game there. It's like, there's some crazy shit going on there, and nobody can see half of it because of the Chinese firewall.
Yeah,
and how hard it is to ever.
It runs underneath the.
It's so
Chinese
hard to
Great
ever
Wall.
get like a visa to get into China, let alone just visiting or anything.
Yeah,
it's like,
they only give you visas to certain cities as well.
do you think it'd be easier to get to North Korea?
Yeah. You're more likely to get shot.
More like,
but you probably easier.
I think Kim Jong-un would enjoy, our podcast if he gave it a listen.
Is that another quote?
Yeah.
You think Kim Jong-un would enjoy our podcast if he gave it a listen?
Yeah. Right.
Maybe
there was an
listens to it.
Injustice 2 DLC was announced that showed the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I just got to say, I didn't give a shit about Injustice 1. I don't give a shit
Did you
about
not?
Injustice 2. I don't like fighting games.
No, okay. I always forget that for some reason. I'm like,
I don't like fighting games, but seeing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I was so hyped.
Okay.
I wanted Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the game.
So it's in the Fighters Pack 3. Okay.
And I want to see Bouncing Boy in the next. I want to see Bouncing Boy in this game. I want to see Mata Eater Lad. And when I see when I see those, I sleep. Right? Because I'm not even interested about Superman, sleep. Batman, sleep.
April O'Neil.
I don't give a shit. April O'Neil, sleep. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I wait.
Okay.
I'm in the game.
Okay.
EA Sports, remove the loot boxes. Disney. Okay? We're done. We're done.
Are you Disney in this?
We're Disney.
Okay,
We're done.
okay.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Make them big. Next topic. Oh, Amazon added an automatic voice acting tool with text-to-speech because they're still making games with like their Lumberyard engine thing with their text, and they've made like this text-to-speech straight to animation thing that's kind of interesting, but I mainly put it in there to remind people Amazon Games still exists, and they've made an engine, and I have no idea what's going to happen to this, but I think the CEO of Amazon is now overtook Bill Gates for the richest man in the world.
I did hear that.
What's his name? Is it Bill? Jeff Bezos. Yeah. He is now the richest man in the world, so I'm guessing he can do whatever the fuck he wants when it comes to game
I think he
development.
said he didn't even know how to spend it, or if he even tried.
I think in order to get as much money as Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates, you'd have to be earning $15,000 a day.
I think it was...
Or an hour. Or
yeah, it was like every minute.
It was something like that. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, he was basically like...
For the rest of your life.
I wouldn't know how to spend all my money, even if, I could somehow. I know how. Just send it to the Inbetween podcast, and I'll spend every cent of it getting Peter Molyneux to make a bunch of adverts for the show and come onto it.
No, if with that money we could get people to like make us graphics. We could get adverts. We could even like Pia, we're gonna buy some shares in your company. We're gonna make our
I've
game.
talked about this with you before. I said the only thing I would do if I became a millionaire was use all of it to force Peter Molyneux to make like pre-roll ads for like YouTube videos of him advertising the Inbetween podcast.
We could get him to make games though.
Oh, for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And see how terrible they are when they come out. We make him make huge promises.
Be great. Okay, so we go to the main topic of the podcast now.
Yeah.
Which is the Steam Awards. What's this? Oh, that's something for next week. I didn't take off. Yeah.
It's
anyway, ignore that. That's not real.
You didn't see it.
You didn't see it. So we've got the Steam Awards again this week, and that's probably going to be the title of the podcast.
And I need to switch up on my phone.
Okay. Because you've got your nominations now.
Yep.
I've got my nominations now, and we're going to go through each category, talk about whether we think it's retarded, because a lot of them are, and we'll say what game we nominated and what game we thought was going to win.
We're going to talk about the category first, then we're going to talk about what we chose for it, how we interpreted what the category meant.
Okay.
Because some of them are vague.
So usually what happens on the... Let's talk about the Steam Awards. Usually what happens on the Steam Awards...
We've only had one other one before though, right?
Yeah, we've only had one before, but usually what happens is, even if there's a game that's perfect for that category, the most popular game of the time wins. Last year it was GTA 5. This year it's going to be PUBG.
Like GTA 5 beat like Civ 5 or something for like...
One more turn or something. It was retarded. Like, people didn't vote for the category. They just went, this is a popular game, I'm going to vote for this.
And I keep playing it.
I don't like
that.
But I think it's when it comes to awards and polls, it
anyway.
isn't always the correct choice. It's always just going to be the most popular choice, basically, no matter.
To be fair, different people have different interpretations of what they want the award to be. Anyway, the award doesn't really mean anything regardless. It's kind of just fun to be involved with.
But anyway, so the first category is the world is grim enough. Let's just get all along. So this is games that delight and entertain us, giving us much-needed breaks from the sorrows and lows of our life. And let's be honest, for a lot of people, it's been a rough 2017. That is why the Steam Awards have chosen to celebrate a game that doesn't involve combat or conflict. What did you choose?
Well, I know for a fact we both chose in. Can I just say, before we do that, like, I like this category. I hate its name. It needs to have a much... Like, why can't it just be like the Bright and Colourful Award? Or the non-violent, bright, colourful
The Slime
award.
Rancher category.
Yeah, so we both chose Slime Rancher.
So we should mention we both did the Steam Awards separately.
Yeah, we didn't tell each other.
We haven't told each other what our nominations were until now. So we have no idea what we've nominated.
I've just looked. I haven't even seen the list that's on the right screen yet, and I just looked up and saw it. Okay.
But
Slime Rancher deserves this award.
My nomination is Slime Rancher.
It's too good.
I love this game.
It's amazing.
It filled up most of my 2017 farming those slimes. It was a fantastic game. Very relaxing.
I still need to farm more slimes.
And you've got your dark games like Dark Souls. After you finish playing, 20 hours of that, you play Slime Rancher.
Can I just say, as a quick side note, speaking of Dark Souls, I still want to play Bloodborne.
Okay.
I really like dark, creepy things, for anyone who doesn't know, by the way.
Well, they've seen your cake.
Yeah, they've seen my cake.
Halloween cake.
And Bloodborne, I much prefer the look than Dark Souls. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, sorry.
I played Dark Souls 1, and I hate the slow combat.
I don't like the slow combat in Dark Souls, but I like the look of the slow... Like, the slow combat looks better in Bloodborne, in my opinion, than it does in Dark Souls.
I played it, and I could never get into it just because of the way...
I respect it.
I always played hack and slash games like God of War, so I'm like dodge, quick, and I can't do the energy like dodge takes up a load of your energy, attack, slow.
Would it be cool that you would you say like
I hate it?
Do you think the game would be better if you could have like a bigger spectrum of like you could customize your character to be like weaker health wise but have more speed?
You can do that,
but I mean like more so you could be.
But I don't want an energy bar at all.
Okay.
I want to play a hack and slash game, basically. Which is why I don't want to play Dark Souls.
Okay.
But like, when you...
I like energy bars, but I agree it's too slow.
You know when Ukulele came out and they had an energy bar to use special... And people were complaining about shit about that. That's kind of how I feel like there shouldn't be an energy bar to do certain moves. You should just be able to do them.
With Ukulele, I understand that, but for me, I like the principle of Dark Souls having the energy bar. I just don't like the slow
I mean, I'm not
everything.
saying change Dark Souls to suit me.
No, absolutely
I'm just
not.
saying, like,
It's not for us.
I don't enjoy Dark Souls because of that reason. Because otherwise, if you just like removing the energy bar, it'd be roll, and you just keep rolling through the game, and you wouldn't do it.
People already roll through the game, Joe.
Okay. Anyway, so the next category is the Choices Matter Award, and what do you think of this one?
Well, the actual award. I quite like the award because I actually like stuff that have choices matter in games.
I was like, this is obviously a Telltale game's going to get voted for this, but none of your choices in Telltale games matter at all.
Which is why I chose a game where choices do matter.
So did I. Did you choose the same as me?
I don't know what you chose. What did you choose?
I chose Reigns.
Okay, no, but I chose a thing with similar outcome.
Okay, so I'll read the description. Games are about agency, and this award is for the game that has its spades. Maybe it's because there's 31 ways you can breach into a villain's lair. Perhaps there are dozens of potential partners for you to build a romantic future with. Maybe you find yourself consistently saying, where should I plant these turnips? In all these three scenarios, there is a common bond. The choice is always yours. Right, what did you pick?
I chose Divinity Original Sin 2.
Really?
Yeah, because those choices actually do matter. Like, legitimately.
That's a good
actually
nomination.
changes, like, quest... Because it's, like, 2D, that they put more time into the actual choices in the first game. I played the first game. I will say right now, I have not played the second game, but I have seen it. And the choices still do matter.
Because I've played a couple of Telltale games, and the choices in those games never matter. So I was like...
Yeah.
What
They
do
matter to some extent, yeah.
What do I pick here? But then I was like, wait, Reigns, if you don't... If there's a lot of choices in that game. If you don't pick the right one, you can die really easily. Like, choices and reigns really matter. The game literally is all about making choices.
Yeah.
So I thought this was a fantastic nomination for this.
I forgot about reigns, but I do agree with both of my. I think my choice that I made and choice you made are both.
Yeah, I think
correct.
Divinity Original Sin are pretty good nominations. Will they win?
No.
PUBG's probably going to win this. So. I'd say, yeah, if you're playing PUBG and you choose to shoot someone and you choose not to shoot someone, that's an important choice, isn't it? Or you're going to die. I think, realistically, the winner of this category will probably be something like Divinity Original Sin. Most likely,
I hope so.
I think most likely.
Reigns also deserves it.
I think most likely popular vote is going to be a Telltale game, basically.
I would like to be Batman.
Yeah, probably.
I'm feeling it's
because
like
I was
Batman.
thinking about Batman for this award because
I didn't even consider it.
I didn't think of Reigns, but I was like, your choices don't really matter in Batman.
Not enough for me to win that award.
So the next award is the Haunts My Dreams Award, and this is for the award. It's slightly a misnomer because this game doesn't just haunt your dreams; it consumes your thoughts, your every waking moment of the day.
Okay.
This game doesn't mind your time. You give it willingly. What did you put for this?
So I went for a more literal approach than the description because
Right.
I like the idea of a scary game.
Oh, okay.
So, and I think I've told you this. I haven't told this. I haven't said it on the internet yet, but I've said it to you.
Right.
The ghosts in Fear scare me the most out of any game I've ever played, ever.
What is this? Fear 3 or?
I think it was Fear. I've played
one?
Fear as well. This is the first one.
Okay, Fear 1. Okay.
So that's what I nominated. Fear 1.
I nominated Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition.
You have to explain that one to me.
Because I went through all my games that I had the most playtime on. I was thinking, what was the game where when I wasn't playing it, I was thinking about it?
Okay.
Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition for me was, I was constantly like, I want to play Fallout again. I want to play Fallout 3 again because I had so much fun on that game. And when I wasn't playing it, I was thinking about playing it. And as soon as I started playing it, I was like, why did I spend all that time not playing the game when I could be playing it? Because I had so much fun.
If I was to do it how I wanted to do, I would have probably put like something like Anno 2017 on.
Because
the
game is fantastic. And I really got sucked into the kind of the world because
the world is good.
They put a lot of effort into it. And the game,
questing's
the Game of the
varied as
Year
well.
edition especially because all of the DLCs are their own kind of separate story and they're fantastically made and they're not anything like the garbage season pass they put on Fallout 4.
Oh, God.
It was just terrible shit that nobody cared about.
None of the stuff they added in Fallout 4 was any good. Like, it was...
They added
They added
like Pokemon, they had like robots.
Yeah, those actually worked.
They added like some sort of bottle cap world or something.
They added...
But it was all kind of surface level stuff.
Yeah,
it wasn't too deep.
Was it? It's like what's it called? The Nuka-Cola world or something like that.
Yeah,
it's meant to be the one where you can actually be the bad guy, but it's like so like 2-dimensional, or 1-dimensional even. That sucks.
The thing I love about Fallout 3, this could have easily been Choices Matter award even, Because
absolutely.
I think like whenever you talk to someone about Fallout 3, you kind of they kind of give you this story of how they played the game, and they did this really interesting thing. Like there was like one mission where there was a robot who was programmed to be like one of the American what are they called?
Oh, like American General or like American,
what's he called? Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah,
and then I
remember
was
this story.
I was like, what I did was I hacked into him, and then I was like, oh, I outrank you. I am, you know,
I'm the president.
I'm someone else, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, sir, because you have to get this item off him.
Yeah.
So there's multiple ways you could do it. You could like hack it. You could lie to him using like charisma. You could.
You have to play the rest of the game to like level up to that stage.
You could just go in there and you could just kill him and just take it if you wanted to.
Like if you did it like at the start of the game, it'd be hard, but you could still do it.
But I loved playing this game. I thought it was fantastic.
It's what's good about Fallout 3. Like it's a glitchy mess, but what's still good about it is what's missing in Fallout 4.
Yeah,
like everything that's missing in Fallout 4 is in Fallout 3.
Well, yeah, I mean, Fallout 3 is kind of glitchy, but then you get the unofficial patch.
Yeah,
it fixes a lot of problems.
You need the unofficial patch.
They fixed a lot of stuff in the DLC.
But it's still really buggy and like weird glitches and like animation glitches and things.
But I think this was a good award. It's just a lot of the
a lot
of the games where I'm kind of stuck in and I can't escape it are not on Steam, because initially I thought of like World of Warcraft. I thought of Diablo.
Yeah.
I thought of my time spent in like League of Legends. I was definitely addicted to that for a long time. And these are games like on Blizzard or their own launchers, and they weren't on Steam, so I couldn't really nominate them.
I couldn't like nominate like Ratchet and Clank, for instance, because I always do think about Ratchet and Clank.
Some games that I got really addicted to. You know, another choice of mine. You know, I put a lot of time into TF2, but I haven't really played that much in years. So.
Don't think about it anymore.
I mean, I have played the Jungle Inferno update, and I think it's a good update, but you know, I don't play it that much.
No, I'm sure probably people still do play it, but I mean,
7th most popular game on Steam still, Tony.
I don't understand.
People love TF2. The next award is the Mum Spaghetti Award, and this is the award for these are games that make you excited, these are games that make you happy, then there are games so intense they elicit a physical reaction. We're talking Wheezneek, we're talking sweaty palms, we're talking fear-induced accidents, we're talking your friends wanting you to breathe. We're talking about Mum Spaghetti.
What I don't understand is like the description is basically lyrics from an Eminem song, right?
His arms are heavy, there's Mum Spaghetti,
so
he's sweater already.
I think this is a bad award.
I don't.
Because the description is awful. I don't know what it means.
I understand what it means.
What am I supposed to nominate for
Games
this?
that elicit a reaction out you outside of the game because of how tense they are would be a better description.
Okay.
But that's what it's saying.
Okay, that still matches what I've put down there. Okay. That's fine.
What did you put? I put PUBG.
I put normality.
What's normality? What is normality?
It's like I want to say 90s, like an old 90s adventure game. It's basically like a point and click, but in 3D.
Oh, I just realised a game I could have put for this, but I didn't.
Basically, it's
Half-Life 2.
Yeah. Basically, this is a terrible game where you like there's like the normal like China, the normal police are trying to like make you be normal.
Yeah.
But you're a kid. You're like, no, I'm gonna wear welly boots. I'm gonna wear stupid stuff.
Mhm.
When I play this game, you're not the good guy in my opinion. You burn down a mall.
Right.
So it makes me really angry and annoyed that I'm playing the bad guy and I want to be normal. I agree with the people forcing normality.
A picture. What the hell is this game, Tony?
It's an old game. 1996. Look, that's your main character. That's who you play.
I have no idea what is going on in this game. Is it a point and click?
Basically, yeah, but it's like sort of in 3D-ish.
Well, it doesn't need to be 2D to be a point and click, Tony.
No, but
don't be a sec.
When it's 3D, it's not called a point and click anymore. It's like an action adventure game.
No, it is a 3D game is a point and click.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. But adventure action is still the first two ones that come up, but point and click also comes up. Yahtzee has done a video on this.
And this game made you sweaty and tense and stuff.
Yes, it makes me angry. It makes me tense up and... It's making me angry thinking about it, Joe.
Why?
You don't understand.
I don't think you understood the award category.
No, I don't understand the award category, but this still counts in my opinion.
Okay, I'm gonna say I don't think it counts. But
I think it counts.
You can agree to disagree.
Well, I don't like the award name of it at all. I don't like the award at all.
I literally, every time I get into a top 10 scenario in PUBG where there's 10 people alive, especially in the fog where I can't see shit, and I'm just sitting there trying to listen for footsteps, looking for anything from my gun. Every time someone starts shooting at me, I throw my hands off the keyboard in real life and I panic to shit.
Really?
I'm heavily breathing.
Okay.
I'm so scared. I actually, can't think straight. Like, I actually get that really intense kind of mum spaghetti thing that they're describing in this.
Okay.
I don't think
I've ever gotten that feeling in any game.
Well, you don't play competitive, super hardcore games.
Is that where you get that experience from? Okay.
That whenever
you can see yourself winning, but you don't want to fail
because you don't play multiplayer games. Like you can feel this in like PUBG. You can feel this in like Counter-Strike, where you need to go and defuse the bomb, and it's you versus 5 people or something like that. I think Counter-Strike Global Offensive will be a popular one on this one. Stuff like that. I thought
PUBG probably be a popular one on this one as well.
Yeah,
though.
PUBG. I think this award was kind of designed for PUBG, in my opinion.
Probably.
But another one I was going to say was Half-Life 2, because I was so scared of the Ravenholm section that it was so intense that I had to turn the sound off.
Yeah.
For the Ravenholm section, because I was so scared of it.
I guess this could be like a scary one as well.
Yeah.
I guess the first one isn't necessarily scary, but I would still say that one's
I don't think the
scary.
Haunts My Dreams one is meant to be scary as in Haunts My Dreams. I think it's Haunts My Dreams as in I can't stop playing it. I'm addicted.
Yeah, but I interpret it as like you kept thinking about it afterwards, which I do about fear.
Okay.
So
do you want to move on to the next award?
I think it's...
This is the No Apologies Award. I think this is the award for the game that you love and you don't have to explain to anyone why you like it. And I got Sonic All-Star Racing Transformed. I think it's a fantastic game. I love it unconditionally. Does it have some faults? Yeah. Do other people not understand your love for it? Yeah.
I have a similar
But there's no
nomination.
mistake. There's no guilt here. Only pleasure. Sonic All-Star Racing Transformed is the greatest game of all time.
Space Engineers. I do not need to apologise for, Joe.
Yes, you do.
No, I do not.
Space Engineers. You need to apologise to me for like fucking 3 years ago. You said to me, Joe, Space Engineers is £17. You should buy it.
15.
And I bought it. And it was a broken, buggy pile of mess that I regret to this day buying, but spent over 2 hours in it and bought it that many years ago that I could never refund it. I hate that game.
You didn't have to buy it.
Yes, I did.
Oh, God.
You tricked me.
I tricked you. I said, you should buy this game, Joe. And you went, yeah.
Because it was 17. You lured me in with your honey trap.
Of £15.
So you like this award. It's an award for that one game that you like,
Yeah.
and nobody seems to understand why.
Yeah, I've played a lot of Space Engineers even to this day. I still don't have any creations I can look at and go, this is really good. But
I think I'm a particularly fanatical fan of the Sonic All-Star Racing Transformed crew.
yeah, it's also a good game though. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to. I think Space Engineers. I think is a game, but I don't think it's objectively a good game. I think it has many problems.
Something like
Sonic All-Star Racing is a good game.
I thought of putting something like Woodle Tree Adventures here, even though that's an awful game.
You don't.
I just really like it.
Okay.
Why
Why do you like Woodle Tree Adventure?
I don't know, because it's just like a game where you're just like a little log and you just run around jumping on leaves and there's no menu. So if you hit escape, the game's gone.
I like the idea of that, but like it's like if you describe it, it sounds better than it actually is.
Yeah.
But no, okay.
Do you wanna move on to the next award?
I think
this is the potential award.
We've memed each other on this first award, but this is the potential
Cry
award.
Havoc and Let Slip the Dogs of War award, and this is the Bard said it best. This game does not necessarily offer the biggest explosion; it offers something better. Potential to be a rampaging force of nature, or not. Who knows? You are the agent of chaos, and no one's going to tell you what to do.
So I had a different interpretation of potential
confusing.
than your potential, though.
Because I think it should have just been called the Peter Potential Award.
Yeah, but It could be that, but I've done the other side of what this also could be.
So my nomination was Obscura Lost Light because I think that was a platformer game that had some really interesting mechanics and could have really been pushed and made into a fully developed game and had a lot of potential. What did you put?
I put a game where you could build stuff and it has a lot of potential to build other things in.
What was your game?
Kerbal Space Program.
Okay.
Because it has potential for modding, has potential for exploration.
So your idea was a game that could be a lot of games with the potential.
Yeah,
almost.
that's how I interpreted it. I did. When I first read it, I was like, "Oh, it's Peter's potential game." And I read it again. And I was like, maybe it could be just like a game with lots of stuff you can do in it. Though.
Right, that's a very interesting interpretation.
I don't know if I'm right about that, and that's what other people are going to do, but I've no idea.
I think I'm going to give the award for the most confusing categories to the Steam Awards once again.
Yeah, I don't like some of these names. I don't like. Like, have a crazy description,
but have an easily recognizable title for the award.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna have a funny award name, have a really in-depth description, like specifically saying what it is.
Yeah.
Don't just reference the title again. We got the jokes, Valve.
Yeah. Anyway, the next one is the Suspension of Disbelief Award. And,
I remember what I gave this to. Oh.
My nomination is Goat Simulator. What did you put?
Dream Daddy.
Oh. Let's be honest, games can have pretty ridiculous elements in them, from the stories that drive the action to the items required to conquer obstacles, to even the protagonists themselves. This award for a game that's a key component, when described out of context, seems totally insane, while playing the game doesn't even make you bat an eye, because in the moment it totally makes sense. That is Goat Simulator. If I describe Goat Simulator, it's kind of like a game where you play a goat, but there's a lot of like explosions, and you get points for random reasons, like blowing stuff up. And you kind of just run around exploring and doing things.
As someone's actually
played at the time, and in the game context, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I agree with that. I was going to do something else.
Right.
And it was another anime game.
No.
Then I realised...
Anime is banned.
But then I realised, even if I did play it, I still wouldn't understand. So it couldn't count. Whereas Dream Daddy is basically just a weird Pokemon.
That was that game that was like pushed by the Game Grumps, wasn't it?
No, they published it.
No, they didn't.
Well, they didn't publish
they
it.
Didn't.
They did some stuff for it though.
Because Total Biscuit had a huge issue with this, where they made it sound like they made the game.
Yeah. They didn't make the game,
but they didn't make. They were just pushing it like the Yogscast was pushing like cave blazes.
Yeah, basically,
and stuff like
it's
that.
almost exactly like
when
that.
They were kind of making it look like we made this game rather than we're advertising this game. We're kind of publishing it.
Yeah. But they did their one... I think their name's the publisher, though, isn't it? They're not the developer, no. For sure. But no, I thought it's crazy. I think yours probably makes more sense than mine. Because when you do play Goat Simulator, it is like, oh, okay, I know what I'm doing. Then you look back and go, wait a minute, what was I just doing?
Yeah.
Even explaining to yourself, it's weird. So
yeah.
But like yours might be like a better.
My runners up. I did some runners up for this one. I did Binding of Isaac and I did Quantum Conundrum because the Binding of Isaac described is really fucking weird, but it makes a lot of sense when you're playing it. Because the Binding of Isaac is there's a kid called Isaac. God tells his mum to throw him in the basement, so he does, and then he has to fight demons with his tears.
Yeah,
and escape.
I never really thought about that for Binding of Isaac. I've always just thought it made sense.
It makes sense when you play it. And Quantum Conundrum makes a lot of sense when you play it, but if you describe it, it's like you go to your uncle's house and then you have to use different dimensions to solve puzzles to get to your uncle who's trapped somewhere. Who's played by John Belushi from Star Trek.
Yes.
That makes sense.
That does make sense. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. He does a lot of voice acting, right, doesn't he? He's in Quantum Conundrum. He's in... he's a character in Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
What's it called? What's it called? The space RTS StarCraft. That's the one.
I think you're trying to get the name for the Okay, don't worry.
Don't worry.
I think you're trying to get a different name.
What do you think this is a good award? The Suspension of Disbelief Award.
It's like the crazy this is weird game thing. I like it as an idea.
Yeah.
And I think it's a fine name. Like, it's not quite perfect. It's
I think this is kind of similar to another award that we'll talk about later.
Yeah, okay.
But the next one is the Soul of Virtuous Award.
I didn't know what to do for this one.
So this is the Virtuous. I think it was again really really poor description.
Yeah.
Really poor title. But what they were basically saying was a game where you think the rendered characters look really good. And for me, I nominated Rayman Origins because I thought the art style of this game was fantastic. And I had my runners up as The Binding of Isaac because that's a game I always thought had a fantastic art style and I really loved it.
I really liked Aragami's character one as well.
Did you pick Aragami?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, that's a good nomination.
I don't know why. I also like Rayman's as well, though, but I think Aragami wins still to this day. I don't know, though. It's just a difficult one. Like when you say something, what character do you think looks best? It's like, I had to really think about this one. Then I remembered Aragami and went, actually, I quite like Aragami.
The easiest way to think about it, what was a game that you thought had a really distinct and cool art style?
Yeah, I really liked Aragami's art style. That's what really brought me in when I bought it.
Rayman has always had this really cool art style, especially Origins and the newer games. Kind of really brought it to a next level.
I like the look of it, but I'm not like the biggest fan of it. So, but Binding of Isaac as well though is really good looking as well. And
the first Binding of Isaac, I was not a fan of the second one.
No, the first one is the first one's better. Yeah, but no,
I've always been a fan of Ed McMillan's art. All of his games like Meat Boy, Isaac, that sort of stuff. He's always been a really talented artist.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I would give it the Binding of Isaac over the Meat Boy. I was going to say, which one would you give out of Meat Boy and Binding of Isaac?
I'd give Isaac for sure.
Yeah, I think I would as well. I do like Meat Boy's look though.
Super Meat Boy.
I still have memories.
I always remember the menu because it's like Super Meat Boy and it plays the rock music. And I remember playing it for the first time with a keyboard and then rage quitting.
So I know what Spawn Retorts he chose for this one.
What did he say?
Thomas was alone.
Oh yeah, I mean,
they're just all shapes.
They're very simplistic character design.
I think that was a meme choice, but I was still allowed to have that option.
Okay, so the next category is the Defies Description Award. I think this is kind of similar to the Suspension of Disbelief Award,
actually,
but I think you might agree with me on this one. I've chosen Jazz Punk.
See, I chose Jazz Punk last year for something.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it to him again.
Okay.
So I chose Cluster Truck.
Yeah.
Just because it is such a crazy idea, and I love it.
I'll be honest with you. I was going to choose Cluster Truck for the Whoa Dude Award.
Yeah.
Lots of explosions.
I was going to do that as well, but
then I decided to choose Jazz Punk for this one and a different game for that one later on.
Okay.
But I think the Suspension of Disbelief Award and the Defies Description Award are kind of the same award, so they either need to put in a different one or kind of merge the two, because I don't think they're particularly different.
So because I did originally have Cluster Truck on the Woe Award, but then I put something else there, which would make sense what I was talking about earlier. So
yeah, so basically, I can't really describe to you why Jazz Punk is good, but it's good. So
no, because if you start saying it's really short, it's bad. You can't do the same thing each time, but it's like just really nebulous what you have to do. It's funny.
You kind of have an objective, but the thing that makes the game really good is that there's all these different side things that you can do that have nothing to do with the main story.
If you play the game to complete it, you will not have fun with it.
Yeah.
If you just... It's going to sound really bad, like, you just have to experience it. But it honestly is the experience game.
Jazz Punk puts you in kind of a sandbox world where it's kind of like...
But it doesn't accomplish anything, though.
No, it kind of puts you in this crazy world, and it's your job to just explore it and make what you want of it.
Yeah, you don't need to do it. It doesn't give you anything for doing it. But I still really love it for what it is.
It's fantastic.
And I actually still think it's worth the money, even though it's short.
Yeah.
I can play it again, and it'll still be equally as funny. Given enough time between playthroughs, obviously.
Okay, yeah, so we talked about, I thought they should merge the two, the Suspension of Disbelief and the Defies Description. What do you think so as well? Or?
I don't know what I feel about best. The thing is that it's talking about the actual character, isn't it? That's what really got me. It's like I've never really thought about an individual character's model and go, this one's more unique than this one or something.
No, I was talking about the Defies Description Award and the Suspension of Disbelief Award.
Yeah,
merging those
that's true.
Two. That's what I was saying.
It's pretty much exactly the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what the difference would be.
Well, the suspension of disbelief is kind of saying it makes sense when you're playing it, and then this one is it doesn't make. You can't describe it, and it doesn't make sense. So it's a very small distinction, but I don't think it's big enough to warrant an entirely different.
No, that
category.
probably should be the same for sure. Then.
Okay, the next one is the Labour of Love Award, and this is for a game that's been given. It's got constant updates to this day. The people who made it love it. They keep updating it and keep putting stuff out for it, and I have nominated Subnautica.
I was gonna nominate Subnautica as well, but I did not in the end.
The devs to this day, they put out fantastic updates for this game.
Yeah, they did.
It is well worth the money. If you wanted to play No Man's Sky, and you wanted a game that was kind of all about this exploration and
it's like
building.
No Man's Sky
and doing-
underwater.
Yeah, it's kind of like what No Man's Sky was meant to be.
Yeah.
And then underwater, it's fantastic. It's the devs are putting out updates to this day. I think it's coming out of early access really soon. They've got a release date for January 1st, 2008, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I will just check now, and I think it is more than ready to come out of early access. The release date is going to be the 16th of January 2018, and I'm really excited. As they said, they also want to add multiplayer to the game, and that's when I'm really going to go hard on it again, because I can't wait to play this kind of game.
I have not yet played it, but I do own it, and it does. I always look at the updates. You send them to me sometimes as well.
Yeah, like
the videos are
the
fantastic.
Infected update and developing the story of how you got on the planet and the technology and how it got there. My runner-up for this award was Warframe, because I think the Warframe devs, they've been supporting that game since 2013. They've put a lot of love into it. Still to this day, they just released their open world update, which is really cool. I think they're one of the dev teams that have been supporting that game for over 4 years on Steam. That's fantastic.
I nominated Stellaris because they
for the Labour of Love Award.
Yes, they put out patches. I want to say like big patches every 2 months.
See, I kind of shied away from games that came out too recently, because it's easy to say, oh, this game's got a lot of updates, but it's also only been out a year or so.
Yeah, no, but
because Subnautica's been out since about 2014, 2015.
I do realise that, but like also like I know like I've seen like like with Subnautica, like, you can tell from the videos that they really want to do what they're doing. So even if Subnautica was out for a year, I would still give it Subnautica. There'd still be like a fine option in my opinion. Because like when I look at like the main game director for Stellaris, like he really loves.
I'll tell you what's another good nomination. Prison Architect.
Yeah, I remember I did that last year.
Fantastic devs out there, always making updates, always letting the community know what's going on. Always.
Even when they have to forcibly change their red cross to a green cross and they get really angry about it. Their power went out, they were getting hacked.
But you're saying you think Stellaris devs, they generally love the game that
they make. Because I've watched their streams and things, he even because he even admits like, oh, that's a bad UI. Like he will say that to the game he's in charge of the development of, not in charge of the resources of. Because I think they have like a management guy and he's the game director who's like the image. He's like, this is terrible. So I like that he's honest with that. He's saying like, I don't like this system, so we're going to update it in a few months' time. Yeah, I like that they're committed to making these big changes to things. I quite like that. Obviously they do DLCs as well, which is why Paradox stuff gets shitted on. But I honestly think that's fine. That's controversial, I think, but I don't care. I actually like how Paradox works. I think there's some stuff they do is like slightly shitty, but it's not worth the review bombs they've been getting recently. And even in this, like they had like the controversial, they increased their price during a sale. I don't think that's a problem either. It's up to the people if they want to put it on sale or not. Okay. Yeah, but that's my choice.
I'm just always cautious about giving
it's only
a Labour of Love award to a game
a year and a half
that hasn't been out very long, because I see what happens to games that get abandoned after a couple of years.
But Paradox doesn't abandon their games, though, especially if it makes money.
Not until Peter comes along. Not until he goddesses it.
No, but anyway. Parasite's been out for a year and a half now, I think, officially. I want to say at the end of the month it'll be a year and a half.
Okay.
But no, so Paradox's track record is they like to make services that they keep updating over and over again. And Stellaris is a good game now, and I think it's going to be even better in like a year's time.
Is it in early access?
No.
Okay.
It's fully released. They're going close to the 2.0 update though.
They didn't release in early access, did
No.
they? Okay.
It's a properly
Just
fully
double
released
checking.
game. Almost like every
Because I think
even patch is good.
Subnautica is like one of the biggest success stories of early access next to like Kerbal Space Program. You know?
Yeah, Kerbal Space Program, Prison Architect, and Subnautica are all great.
Yeah.
Great early access. I think that's about the three biggest ones there, right? Like people really like what they did with them.
And should we move on to the next category, which is the Whoa Dude Award 2.0. This is an award that has come back from the previous year.
It's a good award. I like it.
The Academy wasn't clear enough in the awards description last time. Let's try this again. This award is for the fear and loathing in Las Vegas of video games. They made the description more confusing because Tony had to message me and ask me, what does the fear and loathing in Las Vegas
I couldn't remember
mean?
what it was from last year, and I was like, what was it? And then you explain out to what is it? What do they mean by Las Vegas?
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, I know off the top of my head, it's a book about taking drugs in Las Vegas, and it's also a famous film as well. So it's kind of a small pop culture reference, but I don't think too many people who might be a bit younger will know about this. But basically,
it means nothing to me.
It just means, it's kind of a game where you it's crazy. You take kind of like taking drugs and going to Vegas. It's like, whoa, dude, this is crazy. So my nomination was Hotline Miami because that is literally like a drug trip, basically.
Well, I think you can guess what I chose. It's Roundabout because I felt like I was on drugs the entire fucking time.
I'd say Roundabout's a good choice for this.
And as soon as oh my god, I just because the mission where you get the thing to jump, I was like, I'm even more confused now. I was jumping up like a building site to then jump off to the top of the buildings, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm spinning limousine, jumping off buildings. And I was like, at that point, I was like, yeah, this is... Once you told me that what it was, I was like, yeah, this is the game that's going to... I'm definitely putting it on here.
Yeah, I think...
If you haven't played Roundabout, really,
if you haven't played
please
Roundabout, it's crazy and it's hilarious.
Just the instant you start seeing the car spin, it's like, what?
It's mixing a limousine driver whose limousine's constantly spinning and they can't stop it from spinning, trying to do missions picking up people mixed with really strange FMV sequences dubbed really poorly on purpose.
Yeah, it's so good.
And it's just crazy. It's fantastic. If you haven't seen our spotlight on it, I highly recommend it. I think this category is fine. I think I would like to see the Whoa Dude category 3.0 in the next Steam Awards in 2018.
With a better description, please.
Just put the description as it's kind of like
it's crazy.
It's crazy. It's kind of like a drug trip.
Yeah. Don't make pop culture references, please.
So the next award is the Even Better Than I Expected award, and I put Portal 2.
Really?
Yep. It's
okay.
Even better than I expected.
Okay.
Because they said in the description, we've all been there, you get super excited for a game, you pre-order it, you actually wait for it, it downloads, it's finally play.
I think I have
How do you feel now? Is the answer elated beyond words because even I, a conductor above the horde hype train, was blown away by how good this thing was. Then you have found the perfect candidate for this award. The only game that I can think of that did this was that I can remember pre-ordering and playing on release and being like, this is fucking fantastic. Was Portal 2 or maybe like Bioshock 2, I thought was really good as well.
All my experiences of being hyped up and buying it, I've been disappointed in. Other than
because that's what I thought, but then I remembered how excited I was for Portal 2. And how excited,
one exception
how
was
Stellaris,
but I wanted to put Stellaris in the other one. To be fair, I could have put that here and then put something else there, but this is what I went for. But then I remembered, I didn't pre-order this game.
Right.
But I heard about it and wasn't too sure about it. And this is Dead Cells.
Dead Cells.
You explained it to me. I was like, that sounds pretty cool. I watched the trailer, and that seems really cool. And then bought it, played a little bit, and went, "This is amazing." Then I saw videos of explaining like how this intricate stuff worked. I was like, "That's even better." It just got better and better the more I learned about the game.
I didn't think you'd buy it though, because you don't really play that many roguelike games.
No, I know.
No.
I do like roguelike games, but nowhere near as much as you. Right? Like it's always like one of your favorite genres, right? I would say.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite genre. That's what got me. It's like you explained it to me. I was like, "This is actually sounds like a great roguelike." And I was like, and then I got it, and I was like, it is. I like it. So, but that's the only one, other than Stellaris, I think. All the other games I've pre-ordered and been hyped for, I've been slightly more disappointed than the
Yeah, because
end result.
when you always remember like negative emotions more than positive ones. So I remember, you know, Andy, he pre-ordered No Man's Sky for me. I remember.
Oh yes.
You know, I remember like stuff like that. Where
I pre-ordered Final Fantasy 13 for like 4 years.
Really?
Yeah, because it kept getting delayed, and it finally came out, and it's like it was good in my opinion. But you won't like it because like you like play to the next cutscene. I like that, but it was nowhere near as good as what I had in my mind because I didn't fucking know what Cocoon was and what the fuck is going on.
What the fuck is a Sonic?
Exactly, I didn't know the world. Like they put you in like, oh, here's like 3 languages you need to know, and like here's the backstory. And like what?
Wait, did I pre-order Fallout 4?
Did you want to pre-order Fallout 4?
I asked for it for Christmas.
Okay. I did not pre-order Fallout 4. I don't.
No,
think.
I didn't pre-order it. I didn't think.
What was it? I feel like there's other big games.
I don't pre-order games anymore.
No, I don't pre-order games.
The last game I can
all.
remember pre-ordering was I pre-ordered Bioshock Infinite, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, that's
I
fair
enjoyed
enough.
it.
That's fair enough.
Because it was just because the pre-order thing was so good.
It wasn't like they'd taken away from another game; they just added their previous games, right?
What you got for pre-ordering was you got a copy of Bioshock 1, you got a copy of XCOM, Enemy Unknown, you got TF2 hats, you got a 10% discount.
But they didn't.
It was like crazy.
But they didn't. They
bonus.
didn't take anything away from the game to make the pre-order bonus, which was really good.
They just basically gave you a bunch of free stuff for putting faith in a product that had already released 2 fantastic games.
Yeah.
So I was like, hell yeah, sign me up.
Yeah. That's probably...
I pre-ordered Legion. World of Warcraft Legion is the last game I can remember pre-ordering.
I think that's fair enough.
I was not disappointed.
No, that's fair enough, I think.
But I think that was kind of a stupid decision looking back, considering how bad... Warlords of Draenor was when people were very hyped for that game, and it turned out to be so bad.
Were they hyped for Draenor?
Yeah,
I don't remember any hype.
I can remember watching BlizzCon live with my friend, and he was like, "Yes, they're going back to the Outland. They're going back in time."
Yeah.
And people were very hyped about that.
I never cared about any of that. But...
my reasoning behind being hyped about Legion, even in the aftermath of the abandonment of Draenor, was that Draenor was so bad because they used all their development time to make Legion. So if this wasn't good, nothing was going to be good, right?
Yeah. I guess that kind of is. I don't know because like the PR stuff behind not Draenor, Legion was actually really good. I thought it looked really good even for me. So I don't know. I guess it is kind of stupid, like in terms of actual evidence of the previous expansion, but.
Yeah, so I think this award's okay. I think even better than I think a better. I don't think they can do negative awards, right? Because I think
No.
the better category would have been. I hate that I fucking pre-ordered this award and then No Man's Sky would win. But we'll do the writing category this time, and mine was the most relaxing game award. And I said Bejeweled 3, and specifically...
Which is fair enough, I just saw you like zone out before the podcast.
Specifically, what you need to do, right? There's a step, right? So what you do...
you download it.
No. That's not even the start. You have Bejeweled 3 installed already.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You're not a fucking amateur, Tony. This isn't your...
I haven't got it installed.
Okay. Install Bejeweled 3. You open Steam, you get Bejeweled 3. Fantastic. PopCap is the original PopCap game. You can even get it on your phone these days. You can get Bejeweled Classic from the store, free to play, Zen mode on your fucking phone. There's no microtransaction bullshit. There is no Candy Crush shit, right? It's just Bejeweled. It's just matching gems. It's fantastic gameplay. It's really great. I almost put Bejeweled 3 as my the Sonic All-Stars Transform.
Yeah, they both the game like you're not sorry for.
The no apologies. I love this game. But what you do is you install it, you run a bath. You have a bubble bath. You get in a bubble bath.
Okay.
You get out. You put on a nice fluffy dressing gown, preferably soft, right?
If I don't have a soft fluffy dressing gown,
get one, Tony. That's another step.
Search that on Amazon for me,
right?
I'll buy one.
Go downstairs. You get you make a hot chocolate with whipped cream and marshmallows.
Okay.
You come upstairs.
I would say we don't have that, but we actually do have that at home,
right?
So that's fine.
You come upstairs. You put Bejeweled Zen mode on.
Yeah.
You put on mantras, so it says nice things to you as you play, like I love courageously.
Is that part of the game?
I will not fit. Yeah.
Okay.
That's part of the game. It has mantras for you.
cool.
You can add breathing modulations. You can add like dolphin sounds and shit if you want to.
No, I don't want any of those things.
And then what you do is you turn on Wii Music. You listen to Wii Music while you listen to the original Wii Music, like the shop menu or the fucking Weather Channel or something. And you just listen to it while you play Zen mode, and you will be chilling harder than you've ever chilled before. You'll be so relaxed. If you've ever seen the video of, I know this is controversial now, but if you saw the video of the monkey getting a haircut, some people were saying he was in China and he was drugged. But if he was drugged, he was pretty chilling hard, right, already. But people were saying he was like tied down because he was getting like a haircut, and he just seemed so happy. He was playing.
That's getting my meme of the year.
They
by the
didn't
way.
drug him. They did not drug him. They let him play Bejeweled 3 Zen mode, and he listened to Wii Music. That's how they got him so relaxed. That is how hard he was chilling, right?
Yeah, okay.
Right, what's your nomination? What's your category?
I will preface this by saying I was looking on Twitter.
Yep.
I wanted to... So I was just like searching for like Steam Awards on Twitter, and I couldn't
Yeah.
find anyone who put a funny award down for the right one. They were talking about other stuff instead. Because last year, I can't remember what it was called, but it was like... It was Gary Newman's cock thing.
I can't believe they didn't censor the cocks or something.
Yeah, which is a fantastic award, and obviously his game
we
gets
voted
put
for. I can't believe they didn't censor the cocks for Rust. or
Yeah,
something.
obviously he wanted that award because it would put his game there, which is fair enough. It's a
I
fantastic
think
meme. I like it.
Another popular one was a game that most deserves a sequel.
Yeah.
Half-Life 2 Episode 2.
But I just like the funniness of just like saying I can't believe it's not censored. Rust is like, yeah, I can't believe it's not censored either.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find one this year, so I just went with your meme, my dear.
I just went, why don't you just put the Peter Molyneux Game of the Year and put the Trial?
Yeah, which is exactly what I've done. It's called Peter Molyneux Game of the Year Award, the Trail Frontier Challenge.
Yeah. Because it's now on Steam.
Also known as...
And they've monetized it. Even
Also
though it's
known-
free to play on mobile.
as the Trial.
Yeah. The Trail. Or the Trial.
Curiosity.
So meme ones we saw of this... Meme ones I saw in like Reddit and stuff was esports ready game, and we had PUBG voted for that, which I thought was kind of funny.
I like that one, yeah.
People
I might
kept
have done
saying
that
it
one.
was an esports ready game after it
Oh.
kept crashing and
It
stuff.
says ours now.
Well, that's interesting. But I think we're coming to the end of the podcast now. I think we're at an hour and a half, right? So
Yeah.
we're like perfect time to end it.
We've talked about this for a fucking long time, though.
Yeah. I hope you stuck around with us. I hope you write in the comments, what were your Steam Awards? What's your game of the year? Let us know.
Actually,
we'll be talking about that soon.
Why isn't normal stuff on here though, like that? Like just like Game of the Year or
I think they
best action game or stuff
they know everyone is going to make their own category.
of Game of the Year or something.
There's always going to be like the Esports Industry Game Awards. There's always going to be there's always going to be like the Game Awards show. They know there's going to be a ton of awards for Game of the Year. They want to be distinct and make their own categories.
Okay. Fair
and be
enough.
like, this is the Steam Awards. We're not just another arbitrary Game of the Year award, right?
Yes, they are.
Imagine a game where you have to pay hundreds to just move a bit left, go up on a ladder, etc. But one weekend a year, it's all free. That is really the one and only time a mass of players could try to take the game back from the small group of rich people who usually play it. Wow, okay, that sounds fantastic. But yeah, that's the Pimology tweet this week. And
That's great. Is he using the increased character limit to write that?
I don't know how many characters are there. We don't get a character count, unfortunately, unless you're writing it.
Yeah, but can't you use it?
Well, I could, but do you actually?
I
want
to know what the character count is, Joe. I'm pretty sure there's a counting tool here somewhere. So
Where?
If you keep it selected, select all of it, and I think in like tools.
Tools.
And I swear there is word count.
This is the whole document, though. I guess we'll never know.
Actually, no, it was saying it was 58 words.
Okay,
But
that's not.
I
an
think
increased
that
character
was...
limit, then.
No, I think that was using the character limit, though. It was just over.
Okay, so you can catch us at vid.me/inbetweenpodcast. You can catch us at YouTube and Everything In Between podcast. Check out our Viscera cleanup detail.
That's actually really good.
Spotlight, because I spent a while editing together,
long
and I think
time.
it came out pretty well.
Pretty
And,
well. I thought it was
Tony doesn't
really good.
exist
No.
on Twitter, but I am
Okay.
at Scorn2000 if you want to check out everything I say on there, like stupid shit, shit posts, and information about the podcast.
November 20th was good for you.
Yeah. I sent a reply to Dr. Disrespect saying PUBG shit game, basically, and I got a bunch of impressions, so there's that. And that Fortnite was a good game, and I got a bunch of impressions. But anyway, that's the end of the podcast. I've been Joe, you've been Tony. Goodbye.
Bye.